Welcome to Sleepy Secrets, where tranquility meets knowledge. Drift off to dreamland as we gently share fascinating and calming facts to soothe your mind. Join us on this journey of relaxation and learning, helping you find serenity in slumber. The oldest known pyramid is the Pyramid of Djoser in Egypt, built around 2630 BC. The Pyramid of Khufu, Cheops, is the largest of the Giza pyramids and was originally 481 feet tall. The Great Pyramid of Cholula in Mexico is the largest pyramid by volume, not height. The Bent Pyramid in Egypt earned its name due to its unusual change in slope midway during construction. The Pyramid of Menkaure in Giza was once encased in white Tura limestone, similar to the other pyramids. The Pyramid of Cestius in Rome, Italy, is one of the few surviving ancient Egyptian-style pyramids outside Egypt. The Nubian pyramids in Sudan are smaller and narrower than the Egyptian ones. The ancient city of Teotihuacan in Mexico contains the Pyramid of the Sun, the third largest pyramid in the world. Mayan pyramids often served as temples for religious ceremonies. The pyramids of Meroe in Sudan were constructed for Kushite royalty. The Pyramid of Meidum in Egypt is believed to have collapsed during construction. Some pyramids were constructed with secret passageways and chambers. The Giza pyramids were originally covered with smooth white casing stones. The Pyramid of the Moon in Teotihuacan is aligned with the Cerro Gordo Peak. The Pyramid of Ahmose at Abydos is believed to be the tomb of Pharaoh Ahmose I. The Pyramid of the Magician at Uxmal, Mexico, is known for its oval base and rounded corners. Some Mayan pyramids feature steep staircases with ornate carvings. The Pyramid of the Moon in Teotihuacan had a temple on top. The Mayan city of Tikal in Guatemala contains several pyramids. The Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan was likely used for astronomical observations. The ancient Egyptians believed that pyramids served as stairways for the deceased pharaohs to ascend to the afterlife. The tallest pyramid in Egypt is the Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid. The Pyramid of the Moon at Teotihuacan is surrounded by smaller platforms. The Pyramid of the Niches in El Tajín, Mexico, features over 365 niches, likely representing the days of the year. The Mayan city of Copan in Honduras has several pyramids, including the Hieroglyphic Stairway. The Step Pyramid at Saqqara, Egypt, is believed to be the earliest monumental stone structure. The Pyramid of Menkaure has 3 smaller pyramids adjacent to it, believed to be for his wives. The Nohok Mul Pyramid in Coba, Mexico, was one of the tallest in the Yucatan Peninsula. The Great Pyramid of Cholula was built in several stages by different civilizations. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 4 air shafts, possibly aligned with significant stars. The Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent in Teotihuacan has intricate carvings of feathered serpents. The Sinki Pyramid in Sudan is one of the oldest known pyramids in Africa. The Pyramid of Djedefre, son of Khufu, is located in Abu Rawash, Egypt. The Red Pyramid in Egypt gets its name from the reddish hue of its limestone. The Pyramid of Amenemhat III in Dashur is believed to have been partially destroyed by an earthquake. The Teotihuacan pyramids were constructed with adobe bricks and faced with limestone. The Tucumay pyramids in Peru form a large archaeological site known as the Valley of the Pyramids. The Pyramid of the Moon at Teotihuacan was built in 7 phases. The Pyramid of Cestius in Rome, Italy, was incorporated into the Aurelian walls. The collapsed Pyramid of Meidum was once a 7-stepped structure. The Pyramid of the Niches at El Tajín was likely a temple pyramid dedicated to a god. The Great Pyramid of Giza was originally capped with a polished limestone casing. The Pyramid of the Moon is aligned with the Avenue of the Dead at Teotihuacan. The Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan is associated with the sun god. The Pyramid of the Magician in Uxmal, Mexico, was built in 5 superimposed layers. The Pyramid of Ahmose at Abydos was originally covered with white Tura limestone. The Pyramid of Khenjer in Egypt is believed to have been built during the Second Intermediate Period. The tallest pyramid in Mesoamerica is the La Danta Pyramid in El Mirador, Guatemala. The first pyramid built in Egypt was the Step Pyramid of Djoser. The Pyramid of Menkaure was completed by his son after his death. The Pyramid of Cestius was built during the Roman Republic. The Pyramid of Khafra in Giza was originally 471 feet tall. The Pyramid of the Magician was built in the Puuk architectural style. The collapsed Pyramid of Medum was initially built as a mastaba. The Pyramid of the Sun is aligned with the Cerro Colorado Peak. The Pyramid of Amose was found to contain Osirian statues. The Ladanta Pyramid is one of the largest in the world by volume. The Pyramid of Djedefre had a mortuary temple adjacent to it. The Bent Pyramid was originally planned. The Great Pyramid of Cholula was built in 6 phases. The Pyramid of the Sun is associated with the Mesoamerican rain god. The Great Pyramid of Giza has been extensively studied and explored by archaeologists. The Pyramid of the Magician is considered the Bent Pyramid's unique angle change, is believed to have resulted from a decision to reduce the slope during construction due to structural concerns. Some Egyptologists propose that the ancient Egyptians used an elaborate counterweight system to lift the massive stones during pyramid construction. The Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan in Mexico was built over a natural cave, emphasizing the importance of caves in Mesoamerican cosmology. Some researchers suggest that the Pyramid of Khafra, Chefren, once had a polished, smooth limestone casing like its larger neighbor, the Great Pyramid. The interior of the Great Pyramid contains intricate passageways and chambers, with the king's chamber being the primary burial chamber. The Pyramid of Menkaure has distinctive granite facing on its lower sections, which has helped preserve the monument's core structure. The Pyramid of the Magician in Uxmal, Mexico, features rounded corners, making it distinct from other Mayan pyramids. Some ancient texts and alternative theories propose extraterrestrial or otherworldly involvement in pyramid construction. The Nubian pyramids were constructed primarily with sandstone blocks, making them appear more like step pyramids. The Red Pyramid's smooth casing stones, still partially visible, indicate how the Giza pyramids once appeared. The Pyramid of Djoser's complex, the Step Pyramid complex, includes several surrounding structures and courtyards. The Great Pyramid's unique design and precision have sparked debates about the ancient Egyptians' architectural knowledge. Ancient pyramid builders used a leveling technique with water to ensure the pyramid's accurate alignment with the cardinal points. The Great Pyramid of Giza's exact construction method remains a subject of ongoing research and speculation. The Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan is precisely aligned with other major structures in the city. The Pyramid of Khafre once had a casing of gleaming white Tura limestone reflecting the sun's rays. The Pyramid of the Moon's summit was a focal point for ritual activities in ancient Teotihuacan. The ancient Egyptians used advanced surveying and astronomy to align the pyramids with celestial bodies. The Pyramid of Menkaure is the smallest of the Giza pyramids and is believed to have been completed by his son. The Great Pyramid's limestone casing stones were highly polished, giving it a shining appearance. Some fringe theories propose that the pyramids were built by an advanced civilization that possessed lost or forgotten technologies. The Great Pyramid's precise geographic coordinates are believed by some to encode mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio. Some conspiracy theories suggest that the pyramids served as energy generators or had a role in harnessing and transmitting cosmic energies. Certain individuals believe that the ancient pyramids hold hidden chambers or repositories of ancient knowledge yet to be discovered. Some fringe researchers claim that the alignment of pyramids worldwide points to a global ancient civilization or extraterrestrial influence. Theories circulate that the pyramids were constructed as massive machines or devices with unknown purposes. Legends and conspiracy theories connect the pyramids with ancient and advanced societies like Atlantis or Lemuria. Certain conspiracy theorists speculate that the precise astronomical alignments of the pyramids indicate knowledge of advanced celestial events. Claims suggest that the ancient Egyptians possessed technologies lost to time, enabling them to manipulate heavy stones with ease. Some believe that the pyramid's layout corresponds to the stars of Orion's belt, reflecting a deeper cosmic connection. Conspiracy theories propose that the pyramid's true purpose was to serve as a form of advanced communication devices. The Sphinx's origin and purpose are the subject of conspiracy theories, linking it to hidden knowledge or ancient prophecies. Some theories speculate that the pyramids were built using anti-gravity or levitation technologies. Claims suggest that ancient pyramids contain encoded messages or maps pointing to otherworldly realms or lost civilizations. Legends and fringe theories connect the pyramids to mystical or occult practices, believing they hold ancient secrets of power. Some theorists propose that the pyramids are part of an intricate global network of ancient energy centers. Claims suggest that the ancient Egyptians possessed knowledge of advanced mathematics, engineering, and even time travel. Hieratic script. In addition to hieroglyphics, the ancient Egyptians developed a cursive script called hieratic. Hieratic script was used for everyday writing, such as administrative documents and religious texts, and it was written with brush and ink. Portraiture. Ancient Egyptians were skilled in creating realistic portraits in various forms of art, including statues, reliefs, and paintings. Portraits often depicted pharaohs, nobles, and important individuals with detailed facial features and symbolic poses. Canopic jars. Canopic jars were used in the mummification process to store and protect the organs of the deceased. Each jar had a lid representing one of the 4 sons of Horus who guarded the organs: Imsiti, liver; Hapi, lungs; Duamutef, stomach; and Kabesenuef, intestines. Naturalism in art. Ancient Egyptian art often displayed a blend of both idealism and naturalism. While some aspects of the human form were idealized, artists also aimed to portray realistic features such as muscular definition and body proportions. Amarna art. During the reign of Akhenaten, a unique artistic style emerged known as Amarna art. This style deviated from traditional norms, featuring elongated and exaggerated figures and depicting the pharaoh and his family with distinct physical characteristics. Decorative art. Ancient Egyptians adorned their buildings, tombs, and everyday objects with intricate decorative art. Geometric patterns, floral motifs, and symbolic designs were common elements used in various artistic expressions. Coffin texts. Coffin texts were spells and religious texts painted on the inner surfaces of coffins and sarcophagi. These texts were intended to aid the deceased in their journey to the afterlife and provided protection and guidance. Limestone stelae. Limestone stelae were often used as commemorative or religious markers, with inscriptions and reliefs carved into their surfaces. They were placed in temples, tombs, and sacred sites. Rock-cut tombs. In addition to pyramids, ancient Egyptians created rock-cut tombs hewn into cliffs or rock faces. These tombs featured elaborate and detailed decorations on their walls and ceilings. Ostraca. Ostraca were pottery shards or limestone flakes used as a cheap writing material. They were commonly used for drafts, sketches, and informal records, providing valuable insights into daily life and artistic practices. Scarabs. Scarabs, or beetle amulets, popular symbols in ancient Egyptian art. They represented the cycle of life, rebirth, and transformation. Cartonnage. Cartonnage was a material made of layers of linen or papyrus soaked in plaster, used to create masks and coverings for mummies. These cartonnage masks were often decorated with colorful painted designs. Mud brick construction. In addition to stone buildings, ancient Egyptians constructed many structures using mud brick. These bricks were made from a mixture of mud, clay, and straw, and they were used for houses, walls, and some temples. Mortuary temples. Mortuary temples were built near the pyramids to honor and worship deceased pharaohs. These temples served as centers for religious rituals and offerings to ensure the pharaoh's successful journey to the afterlife. Funerary temples. funerary temples were separate from the mortuary temples and were built to honor deceased queens and royal family members. These temples were dedicated to memorializing and celebrating their lives. Sphinx temples. Temples were constructed near the Great Sphinx of Giza to venerate the mythical creature and the pharaoh it was believed to represent. These temples were part of the pyramid complexes. Processional ways. Processional ways were long, straight avenues leading from the Nile River to temples or sacred sites. They were often used for religious processions and ceremonial purposes. Pylon gates. Pylon gates were monumental, towering gateways leading into temple complexes. They were decorated with impressive reliefs and sculptures and served as symbols of grandeur and divinity. Mastabas. Mastabas were low, flat-roofed tombs made of mud brick or stone. They predated the construction of pyramids and were used for burials of nobles and officials. Valley temples. Valley temples were built at the edge of the Nile River near pyramids. They served as the entrance to the pyramid complexes and were used for various religious and ceremonial activities. Open courtyards. Many temples featured large, open courtyards surrounded by columns and statues. These courtyards were important gathering places for religious rituals and offerings. Sun temples. Some pharaohs, such as Akhenaten, constructed sun temples dedicated to the worship of the sun disk, Aten. These temples represented a shift in religious beliefs during the Amarna period. Granite quarries. Ancient Egyptians extracted granite from quarries using stone tools and copper chisels. Ancient Egyptian toothpaste. The ancient Egyptians had an early form of toothpaste, which they made from a mixture of crushed eggshells, myrrh, and pumice. They used this paste to clean and whiten their teeth. Surgical instruments. Ancient Egyptian surgeons used various surgical instruments made from copper and bronze, such as scalpels and forceps, for medical procedures. Faience. Egyptians were skilled in making a type of ceramic called faience, which was used to create jewelry, amulets, and decorative objects. Faience was made from crushed quartz, natron, and other minerals, and it was fired at high temperatures to create vibrant and colorful pieces. Shaduf. The shaduf was an ancient Egyptian irrigation device used to lift water from the Nile River or wells. It consisted of a long pivoting beam with a bucket at one end and a counterweight at the other, allowing farmers to transport water to higher levels for irrigation. Ancient Egyptian locks. Egyptians developed an early form of locks and keys made of wood and bronze. These locks were used to secure doors and containers. Water clocks. Ancient Egyptians used water clocks known as clepsydra to measure time. These clocks used the flow of water from one container to another to indicate the passing of time. Kites. The ancient Egyptians were skilled in kite making and used kites for various purposes, including recreation, religious ceremonies, and signaling in warfare. Lubricants. Egyptians used various natural substances such as animal fat and vegetable oils as lubricants for machinery and to reduce friction. Glassmaking. Ancient Egyptians were skilled in glassmaking and created intricate glassware, including colored glass beads and vessels. They also developed techniques for making glass molds. Ancient surveying. Egyptians used surveying techniques to ensure the accurate alignment of their monumental structures, such as pyramids with the cardinal points. Calendar system. The ancient Egyptians developed a calendar based on the lunar and solar cycles, consisting of 12 months of 30 days each, with 5 additional days added at the end of the year. Astronomy. Ancient Egyptians had an advanced understanding of astronomy, using it for religious and agricultural purposes. They could predict celestial events such as eclipses and the annual flooding of the Nile River. Ancient Egyptian physicians used moldy bread as a remedy for infections. The mold contained penicillin, which had antibacterial properties. Egyptians believed that lettuce had magical properties and used it as an aphrodisiac. Cats were highly revered in ancient Egypt and were associated with the goddess Bastet, the goddess of home, fertility, and protection. Ancient Egyptians used crocodile dung as a form of birth control. The dung was believed to have contraceptive properties when inserted into the vagina. Egyptian pharaohs often wore false beards as a symbol of divinity and power. The ancient Egyptians invented one of the earliest forms of toothpaste using a mixture of crushed eggshells, myrrh, and pumice. The world's oldest dress, dating back over 5,000 years, was discovered in an Egyptian tomb. It was made of linen. Egyptian mummies were sometimes adorned with intricate jewelry, and even pets were mummified to accompany their owners to the afterlife. Ancient Egyptians enjoyed board games, and senet was one of their most popular games, symbolizing the journey to the afterlife. The Eye of Horus symbol, also known as the Eye of Ra, was believed to have protective and healing powers and was used in amulets and jewelry. Egyptians believed that the heart was the center of emotions, intellect, and morality, not the brain. The ancient Egyptians used donkey milk as a skincare treatment, believing it had rejuvenating properties. The opening of the mouth ceremony was performed on mummies to ensure the deceased could eat, drink, and breathe in the afterlife. Ancient Egyptian children wore protective amulets shaped like the god bees to ward off evil spirits. Egyptian hieroglyphics were deciphered thanks to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which contained the same text in 3 different scripts: hieroglyphics, Demotic, and Greek. Ancient Egyptian makeup, such as kohl, served practical purposes, protecting the eyes from the sun's glare and repelling insects. Egyptians used honey as a natural sweetener and as an ingredient in embalming fluids for mummification. The construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza used an estimated 2.3 million blocks of stone, each weighing between 2.5 to 15 tons. Ancient Egyptian artists depicted human figures in a way that showed a person's most recognizable characteristic.